Hey folks, welcome back to another 3-1 association from the Armory extended gear check this time. Last night we talked a little bit about my coffee kit for the 2-minute gear check. I told y'all I'd get with you on just a quick breakdown of how it works, and I'm actually going to make a cup of coffee in real time. I've had 1 cup of coffee, so I'm not really ready to quite move, but we're going to make this work. And it's the day prior to me leaving Johnny's house to go back home north, so I figured we'd just throw this together and try to kick this out about the same time we do the podcast. So, got my Jetboil kit. Everybody probably is pretty familiar with how these work. I've already pre-filled it with water, so you don't have to see me go over to the sink and do that. The only thing we've done ahead of time to make this a little more streamlined is I ground the coffee. I have a full tub of coffee here, and I have my water already ready. And this will hold plenty of water. I've got my fuel already connected. I'm going to fire it up, so you might hear a little excessive noise as this thing runs, but it's actually pretty damn quiet, and it's very fuel efficient. I've used these plenty of times inside of enclosed spaces, like an idiot, and it works. So this is the Travel AeroPress, the AeroPress Go, I believe they call it. It's got a slightly smaller capacity versus the regular AeroPress. I'm not sure, a couple ounces. It's not major, but it all fits inside this container. Again, you can go back to the video and watch last night. I had it all consolidated. Then it all fits in this orange bag, and it ends up being about 3.8 pounds with a full bag of coffee. And like I said, you can cut weight on that. You can have your coffee pre-ground. You can throw it in a Ziploc for exactly how much you think you're going to need for an outing. I just carry a full bag whenever I'm out because I know I'll end up needing it at some point. This cup that it all contains itself in, with that cap on top, this will end up doubling as a cup if you want to cut out the extra cup that I carry. So I'm going to use that cup. I just threw this on camera just so you could see it. I'll get my water boiling here. Get the chamber. I do the inverted method, so it's almost an upside down method. Not quite how AeroPress recommends it, but that's how I do it. It's just an alternative method. Dump your coffee in there. Again, that's about, I've done this enough times. I've measured it. I know about what it is. That is the proper amount of coffee for what I enjoy. And this is a dark roast coffee, so it's going to be a little bit stronger no matter what, taste-wise. I'll put that GSI Java mill there. Once this water's done boiling, and I'm not exact with it, I know how I like it, so this is not a recipe video. This is just to show you how simple this is out in the field. And AeroPress makes a concentrated cup of coffee, so they tell you using one of these to make what I consider a cup of coffee, you can actually dilute it down and make about 4 cups of coffee. So if you're making it for a group, you can do one of these for 2 to 3 people easily. 4 they say, but I don't know if I trust that because I just like my fucking coffee stronger. And anyway, like I said, you can see about where that coffee's about that much in there. The rest of it will be water. And I use the paper filters again. I went away from that. I've pre-wet it. That's why it's in this red cap. That's actually the cap for the AeroPress system. And that's in there. Otherwise, you can use this handy-dandy mesh filter if you're camping and throw it in there instead. And then you just rinse it out in the stream or in your water or whatever and go off about your business. But I've been using the paper ones. They weigh nothing. You can carry enough to make, that's probably 80 filters, and it takes up 0 space and weighs absolutely nothing. And I just throw it in a little front zip pocket of that Zoid pouch. Anyway, the water's about ready. I can see it bubbling. You don't want it boiling anyway when you pour it in. That's kind of a misconception. You want your water anywhere from about 192 degrees to about 205 degrees. I don't expect anybody to measure that when they're out in the field, unless you're a fucking nerd like me. But what you'll end up doing is you let it boil, let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes, depending on your environment, obviously with ambient temperature and all that, and then you'll just let it air cool. I always get it about boiling and then I pour it. And if it's a little burnt, fuck it, it's field coffee. So anyway, that's your regulator for your fuel output. Not necessarily make it hotter, but it will dump more fuel into it. I've kind of gotten over the years, I've used one of these since probably about 2003, maybe 2002, somewhere in there. This is not the same exact one. It's got this, the flash system has this cool little, it'll turn orange as it's getting hot, And it's got this neat little sleeve on the side too that you can throw a spoon in when you're storing it on the go. Don't do that when you're heating it up. I've actually forgotten it and melted a spoon by accident because I hadn't had my coffee yet. So anyway, almost ready to go on that. Like I said, I'm just going to brew up a quick cup of coffee, and however long this video takes is how long it takes to make your coffee. The only thing quicker I know of for field coffee is, and unless you already got a roaring fire and you got a percolator happening, that might be a little bit quicker at times. Or you can use the Black Rifle coffee sticks or the Starbucks Vias, something like that. Just boil your water, dump it in, mix it, drink. Those are plenty good enough for field coffee. I've used them in a pinch plenty of times. I'll go ahead and kill that. And it's got this neoprene sleeve that makes it, and a cool handle that actually makes it very safe to handle. And that all that's, it's titanium, so this thing cools down very quickly. All I'm going to do is just pour a little bit on there to saturate the grounds, let them do their bloom thing. That's the only downside about the AeroPress, or the jet boil, sorry, is it doesn't have a spout, so there's no real perfect way to get your water exactly where you want it, but you can make it work. Again, this is field grade. It's got these cool little dimples. If you've never used one, it's got these cool little dimples in it that actually lock into that, so I can pick this all up as a unit and carry it without worrying about it dropping, especially on top of this glass table. Johnny's fiance would kill me if I broke it. Let it sit for a bit, stir it up, make a good coffee slurry, sludge type stuff out of it. And I just go ahead and rinse my spoon off here so I can set it down on whatever I want to next without worrying about it dirtying up the situation. Snap your filter on the filter basket with the filter. Tip it upside down, and it just so happens I didn't plan it like this. When I bought this cup, it fits perfectly. I mean, with zero slop on there. There's no worry of that thing coming off there or anything like that. Now it is gassing up, so you'll see that thing start to push itself out with the gas that's in there. So you just want to hold it. You don't have to apply really any pressure. Just the weight of two hands will take that thing down naturally. And all that's doing is pressing that coffee and that hot water mixture through your filter to give you just the bean water, right? The grounds are going to stay up in there. It's just a giant syringe with a filter that you're pushing coffee water through. And you would be amazed at how much better of a cup of coffee this thing makes than, say, a standard drip. But if you're not used to it, you will definitely notice a huge jump in flavor and texture. There's all kind of tutorial videos out there actually for how to do this, the right mixture, the recipes. They have like a, what do they call it, like an AeroPress World Cup, I think they call it. And then that's what you're left with, and when you're done, I won't be able to show it to you right now, but when you're done, you just take the filter off, press it up, and you have a coffee puck style of grounds that are going to stick above that, and you just throw that in the trash, or if you're out in the woods, just flip it out in the woods, it's fine. The paper you can peel off and throw in your fire. But anyway, that's a good solid cup of coffee there. And that's all there is to it, folks. It's very simple, very easy. The whole thing weighs 3.8 pounds, and you can consolidate that, add to it, take away from it, and there's plenty of room in that bag to add things. Plenty more room if I take out some of the things that I don't need. One of the things that I don't need, or two of the things actually I don't need, that I always seem to carry are the coffee scoop that comes with the AeroPress Go, and then it comes with its own little stirring paddle that folds up, and it all fits nicely inside of that. I don't need it, but I still carry it because apparently I'm a sentimental fucker and I don't want to get rid of things. I'll find a use for them probably somewhere along the house after this, and I won't use them anymore along the way. But anyway, that's it. So just wanted to make sure we got that on camera for you, and thanks for watching. Cheers.